Ready. Good morning. We've got a little bit of building work going on, so there might be some bumps, bumps and noises and knocks. Mm. Tuning into your breathing, your own space, how you feel. Good. So we're going to start seated, and you can take a kneeling position or have your legs out in front if that's more comfortable. And if you're kneeling, you can always double over a blanket and put that in between your feet under your sit bone. I'm going to take the arms out from shoulder height. I'm going to turn one shoulder forward so the palm goes up to the ceiling, so that we do the opposite on each side. And really stretch. It's a really nice way to do a shoulder stretch in the morning. Mm. John hasn't quite got room in his office. I can see him. He had to put his long arms out the door. Really, really stretch. Good. And then we're going to start to bring the arms up and see if you can keep that length from the heart to the fingers. But keep your shoulders and your neck nice and long. All the way up. And all the way down. Good. And then some spinal waves forward and back. Feel the back of your body. Each of those little joints, those beautiful discs between the vertebrae. Mobile. Supple. And flowing. Feel the breath flow in the joint, body, the movement. The prana, the life force. Nice. We're going to come up to standing. And keep going with your spinal waving movement forward and back of your feet so that they're parallel and under your hips, your legs are parallel. And let your whole body get involved with moving the spine. Let it feel exaggerated or exuberant. Feeling the flow. The breath. Ease in your joints. Nice work. Come to the front of the mat. Now, I might get everyone to get a chair and we'll use it for a little while and then you can decide and put it away. But we're going to do a little bit of jumping forward and back on the mat. Ooh. So we're going to put the hands on the chair. Just make sure your chair's not going to slide. And at first, just jump and try and be a little bit suspended, or just feel that moment between the up movement where you're a little bit weightless before you start to fall down again. A little jumping. Good. And then we're going to jump the feet back, trying to feel a little bit weightless. Good. Feet to the back of the mat. And then a nice big stretch. Good. Broad between the shoulder blades. Make space for the back of your neck, your throat. Soft face. And feel the spaciousness of your rib cage. Good. And now we're going to do little jumps. So take a few jumps to get forward again. But just feeling for a moment that weightlessness. Good. And then we're going to take Uttanasana and rest the head. So if you don't reach the seat of the chair, you can fold your arms on the back of your chair and rest your head there. Or resting onto the seat of the chair. As you breathe, you feel the ribs expand. And especially here with the back body exposed. Feel the ribs expanding, the space between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck. Try straightening your legs, lifting your kneecaps, your sit bones. Feel the sides of the waist elongate. Feel the flow of vitality in your body. Good. And then bend your knees and releasing. And we're going to jump again. Just trying to find that little spring in your body. Feet all the way back. Good. And downward facing dog pose. Feet are hip width parallel, legs are parallel. Lift the kneecaps, quadriceps, sit bones. Oh, and really lengthen from the hips to the armpits to the hands. Lengthen the neck, broaden the neck. And feeling the flow of breath in the ribs. The vitality. Good. We're going to bring the shoulders forward over the hands into plank position. So in plank position, we've got the heels, the hips, and the shoulders about the same, in the same line. Feel the front core of the body lift. Nice work. Press the hips back behind. Downward facing dog pose. And then really springy little jump all the way forward. However that feels fun. Good. And then Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Nice. All right, this time we're going to try and put our forearms onto the seat of the chair. I've just curled my fingers over the back of the chair, but we've all got different chairs, I know. Good. And then try again, tiny little springy jumps to get your feet back just far enough so that you can now open your chest towards the floor, the armpits towards the floor. We try to keep the forearms parallel, the legs parallel. Draw the hips back. Feel the lengthening of the armpits, the shoulders, the torso, and the flow of the breath. Try not to grip your toes. Try to press the heels. Good. Now bring your shoulders forward so they're over your elbows. And just walk your feet back a little so that you can get that straight line again from your heels through the hips to the shoulders. So we're in a forearm balance plank. Lift the pubic bone, the front pubic bone. Good. Feel how the lower back length. Breathing deep. Nice work. Press your hips back. Nice big stretch again. Flatten your heels to the floor. Move your feet. You need to do that. All right, and then a little springing jumps forward. Nice. And we're going to lift it all the way up. Arms up. Ah, Urdhva Tadasana. Yes, that's so fun. All right, now you can decide to keep it or not. But we are going to be stepping forward and back and reaching the floor. All right, Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. And exhale. Hands to the chair or the floor. Good. And we're going to try that again. Little step or little movements to get to the back of the mat. I'm a bit stuck to get my little jumps. Feet to the back of the mat for downward facing dog pose. Let the head just hang down. Press the heels, lift the kneecaps, lift the sit bones. Good. And we're going to come into plank position. So bring the hips forward. So your shoulders pretty much land over the top of the wrists. You might have to adjust where your feet are to get that comfortable straight line from the heels through the hips to the shoulders. Pubic bone lifts towards the belly button. Press the fingerprints down. Press the base of the index fingers down. Nice work. Take your hips back. Downward facing dog pose. And then light little springing jumps towards the front of your mat. When you run out of room, roll up and come back to the front of the mat. Arms up, Urdhva Tadasana. Inhale. And as you exhale, Uttanasana. Good. Now bend your legs. Your feet are on, your hands are on the floor or the chair. And see if you can get a little bit of a spinal wave happening forward and back. So you understand that you can still move your spine, even though the legs are a little tight here. Finding that movement, that flow. Beautiful. And then we want to get our feet to the back of the mat. So we might have to take a couple of steps and then little jumps. Downward facing dog pose. Let's try from here some spinal waves. So you have to bend your elbows a little bit. Give yourself some room. And express that movement in a way that feels exuberant in your body. Enjoying this moment. Good. Back to downward facing dog pose and little springing step forward. Step or jump. And when you run out of room, rolling. Back to the front of the mat. Urdhva Tadasana. Good. Inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, Tadasana. We're going to step the left foot back for Trikonasana. So, about your own leg length, and you line up your right heel with the center of the left foot in an arch. Now, I've got the right leg bent to start with. Our hands are still on the floor. You'll notice that your torso is sort of at a 45-degree angle. It's facing towards the corner of the mat. As we lift up, we're going to be aware of the core of the body. So do that now. And feel your torso come into line with your legs. Like a beautiful symmetrical flower opening, blossoming. All right, and we're going to straighten the right leg. Get a little bit of wave movement into your spine from side to side. So we're trying to have the torso over the line of the leg. You do that. Really feel your strong legs. Good. Now we're going to reach the right hand down onto the right leg for Trikonasana, the left arm. And even though we take a more static posture now, feel the movement of the body with the breath. Maybe you can reach a little more on your exhalation. Maybe you feel that lovely opening of the rib with the inhalation. Exploring that feeling of vitality in your body. No rigidness. Feeling the ease. Beautiful. Swing your left arm to the front of the mat. Good. Turn back to face the front. We're going to step forward, lift up, and balance on the right foot. There you go. Ooh. You can have your hands at the heart with the toes lifting a little, or take a hold with your knee or your foot. But again, let's let go of any rigidness. Let's have an ease and a flow to the body. Ah. Nice work. Releasing. Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, Uttanasana. We're going to step the right foot back for Trikonasana, triangle pose. So try and line up your left heel and your right inner arch. Good. Now, with the left leg bent, just notice, of course, the torso is facing towards the corner of the mat. As we start to lift up, we use the core awareness, the flow of life force in the body to bring the torso into a line over the legs. Stretch the arms out from the shoulders. Straighten your left leg. Feel the flow of breath. And then explore your wave-like movement from side to side. If you do find places that feel rigid or a little bit stuck, take extra compassion there. Allowing the flow through the whole body. Good. And then reaching your left arm down onto your left leg and your right arm. And then even though we take a static position, let the flow of energy and breath be in every part of your body in this pose so that you can reach, so that you can open the heart to the ceiling, so that you can feel the ribs move with the breath, the planting of the feet, the stretch of the straight leg. Good, and then inhale. It's coming up. Ooh. We're gonna, oh, I forgot. I did that wrong. We're gonna step forward and balance on the left leg. Bring the right leg in front. So we were gonna make that a bit trickier. Oh. Okay. Balancing and feeling the flow of life force, breath. Good, and then release that side. Tadasana. Lovely work. Inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, Uttanasana. Hands onto the seat of your chair or the floor. Good. And little steps back. Little steps. You can make your springy jumps if you like. Downward facing dog pose. Plank position. So bring the shoulders over the wrist. Stretch the fingers out wide. Press the fingerprints. Lift the pubic bone to the belly button. Lower back is long. Stretch back through the heels. Lift the breastbone. Look forward. Nice work. Bring the knees to the floor. Forward Virasana. So take the hips back. And we're going to take some deep breaths here, feeling the back of the ribs move with the breath. Work. Take a seated position onto a blanket. Now, we're going to put the legs out in front, the feet out in front. Let's take a little boat pose while we're here. And first, make some spinal wave movements again. That serpentine movement along the spine, forward and back. Good. And find now a place to hold your back where it feels the strongest, the healthiest. And you might have noticed you switched on the front and side core of your body to help you. Such a wonderful thing to learn. Good. Now we're going to keep that lovely healthy spine and let go of your hands. The further you take the body back, the harder the work will be to keep the spine feeling easeful. So don't go beyond where you can keep that feeling of ease in your back, but you want to feel like the core of the body is really working. Yes. And you might have your feet off the floor. Again, don't go beyond where you're keeping that easeful spine. Maybe even lifting your feet or even taking your legs out to straight. Paripurna Navasana. Nice. Put your feet back down. Hold the front of your legs so you can lengthen the muscles either side of your spine. All right, we've got the feet in front, legs bent. Put your left foot under your right leg and towards your right hip. So in that direction. And then we do the same thing with the right foot. So it might go in front of your left knee. Maybe it hooks over to the outside or even travels up to the outside of the left hip. If you are leaning, you have a big distance between your knees, you can hold your feet, lift your hip bones up and put your knees down. So we want to feel nice and even across the pelvis, even both sides of the spine. And you're at your limit of movement for your legs, but of course not overdoing it. Nice. Now we're going to take the left arm up by the left ear. Put your right leg on top. Left arm goes up and reach down behind you. Hold your elbow. We're going to draw the elbow over to the right side and feel the left ribs open up when you do that. Take some nice deep breaths into that left rib cage, left lung. Now, straighten up, but notice how the muscle in your arms pulling your head forward. We want to really sit up tall, the front and back of the neck even. Great. Leave your left arm where you've got it to. Take your right arm out. Rotate the right shoulder forward as far as you can. The palms facing up. And then we swing that arm behind as far, far, far as you can. Bend your elbow and try to reach your hands. Now, I can't reach my hands on this side, so I'm going to hold my clothing. Good. And then sit up tall again. Top of the head reaching up. And we try to move the elbows towards the center line and draw them away from each other. Whoa. And even though we're kind of still, you can feel the movement, the energy flow in the body. We're not becoming rigid in the neck. And all right, we're going to swap the leg. If you want to try corkscrew, it's pretty fun. You keep your feet where they are, but they'll just shift a little bit on the mat. But pretty much they stay where they are. And very important, your right leg's on top, you turn to the left. Right leg on top, turn to the left. You keep your feet where they are and just let them turn. And then you've gone the other way. So now your left leg's on top. And I wish I had a gallery view. And if that was just all too much, from the front, you're going to put your left leg underneath. No, sorry. Your right leg underneath and your left leg on top. All right. So the main thing we're trying to do is feel that our legs are in their end range of movement, but that the spine is nice and level and easeful. Good. Let's take the right arm up by the right ear and reach down behind you. Use your left hand on your elbow and bend your torso to the left. Let's open up the ribs on the right side. Taking some really deep breaths into the right rib cage of the right lung. Good, and then straighten up. And notice the head gets pushed forward because of all the musculature in the arm. So really lift the neck nice and long. Good. Leave your right hand where it is. Reach down your back and take your left arm out to the side. Rotate the shoulder forward as far as you can and reach the arm behind you as far as you can. Bend the elbow and maybe you can touch your fingertips and link them. Some people can hold their hands and even some people can hold their wrists. The long-armed hopper. and lengthening now the spine, the front and back of the neck. Good. And we're trying to move now the elbows towards the center line and also away from each other without the hands coming further apart. And feeling in the body that there is flow, that there is ease. Even though we're doing something awkward. And then release and relax. Unravel your leg and take a lying down position. Okay, alternate postures here, depending on how you're feeling. But we're all going to begin in bamboo pose. Inversions are so good for us. The little opposite movement to what happens with gravity in our bodies as we live our lives. So, feet up higher than the head and the heart. If you have high blood pressure, this is not recommended unless your medication is really working. So you've got to check in with your doctor. And the alternate is you don't put your feet up so high, just put your feet on the floor. If you have trouble with the inversions, there's always another version. Right, bamboo pose. It should feel like your legs are balancing. Maybe your blanket needs to be somewhere a little bit higher or lower on your pelvis, or the blanket needs to be higher, folded over. And you can do elbows out from the shoulders and backs of the hands towards onto the floor. Hey, now, if you're feeling like you'd like to try a shoulder stand preparation, we did a little bit yesterday. We have to lift the hips up and support them onto the hands. So I'm going to bring my elbows in close as I can to the sides of my waist. And I'm going to put my feet on the floor just to have a little bit of a spring and lift the pelvis so that I can bring my hands under the pelvis. Now my elbows want to slide out to the side. So I try to keep them walking in so they're about shoulder width. And I'm just letting my legs balance where that feels best. But I'll get them nice and straight. And I keep the back of the neck long. When we're not used to doing this posture, it feels pretty compressed at the front of the throat. See if you can, with the breath, feel a little easier there. If you want to try something a little fun, you can try taking your left leg towards the floor overhead. Bring your legs back to your comfortable balance position. Try taking your right leg to the floor overhead. And once more on each side. Nice work. When you lower down, try to lower your hips without lifting your head. So use your core. Try, trying not to thump down on the blanket. Need to do. Alrighty. Feet down on the floor and lift your hips and take your blanket out. Take your left heel onto your right leg, and we're going to bring the right knee in. Might feel good to wriggle a little from side to side. Get your spine feeling nice and long, broad. Good. And press your lower back into the floor. We try to bring the right knee towards the right shoulder and the left knee away from the left shoulder. But feel as you press your lower back, that lovely engagement in the belly, the muscle, even the gut feels like it retracts towards the back body. Oh, good. Now, if you like, you can take that left heel closer to the front of the right hip. We're doing the same movement still with the knee. Oh, so it's stronger. Only take it to where your hip is comfortable, of course. Oh, and even the last part of the movement, straighten the right. But we keep pressing the lower back down, noticing what that feels like. Good. And then try lifting your lower back away from the floor. Ooh, it will increase the stretch. And we're aware of the flow of breath in the body. Again, even though we're still, feel aware of the easeful flow and movement. Good. And then releasing that side. Okay, we're going to put the right heel on the left knee and bring the left foot off the floor. So we hold wherever we can. He's the electrician. Okay, so left knee in towards the left shoulder, right knee away from the right shoulder. Nice work. Now, if you want to try that right foot closer to the front of the left hip. Press your lower back into the floor. Notice what that feels like. Feel the gut press to the back. The belly muscles all working. The awareness there. Oh, good. And keep your back pressing. And if you like, you can straighten your left leg as well. Then try and lift your lower back away from the floor. Oh, it's a whole other experience. But we want to keep that lovely feeling of flow. Energetic flow in the body. Good. And then release. Arms out from the sides of the shoulders, inside edges of the feet together, knees together. Lift the hips and swing them left and knees go right. And turn to look over your left shoulder. Enjoying the breath traveling through the whole body here. Really switch on the awareness between your mind and your core. So as you lift your leg, there's full support, lovely feeling of power available in your body. And we're going to lift the hips, swing them to the right, and knees go left, and then just relaxing here. Feeling the energetic flow of breath. The ribs expanding. Mm. Good. And then really aware of the core, that beautiful channel of dialogue between the core of the body and the mind. So when you lift your leg, you feel the power you have there. Go back to center and releasing your feet and hands into your belly. Mm. Mm. Mhm. You need to finish your practice now. Well over to you. Sorry. Namaste. If you'd like to stay for a 10-minute relaxation, I'll do my best. There's a bit of building going on. We'll take the legs out to straight, letting the feet roll. Feeling the flow of breath. And as each place in the body is mentioned, feel the flow of breath in that part of your body. Your toes, feet, ankles, lower leg, knees, thighs, hips, belly, buttock, lower back, pelvic floor, the organs, the belly, buttock, lower back, middle back, between your shoulder blades, between your shoulders, around your heart, along your collarbone, shoulders, armpit, upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, palm, backs of your hands, thumb, fingers, back of your neck, throat, base of your skull, scalp, forehead, around your eyebrows, between them, around your eye, nose, mouth, your lips and your tongue, jaw, palate, ears. Now your whole body. Hold your whole body in the flow and life force of the breath, breath by breath. feel the stillness of the body. Start to make little movements, little circles with your hands and feet. Bending in your arms and your legs. And rolling to your side. And when you're ready, come up and have a seated position. Bringing your hands in front of your heart. And take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.